Breaking: alleged certificate forgery. Court delivers judgment on Obaseki'S case. Live update. Alright, the news in detail. The suit, which has sparked interest within and outside Edo State, was filed by the All Progressive Congress (APC) and a member of the party. The Federal High Court in Abuja will today deliver judgment in a suit seeking the disqualification of Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State as a candidate in the September 2020 governorship election. The suit, which has sparked interest within and outside Edo State, was filed by the All Progressive Congress (APC) and a member of the party, Williams Edobo. The plaintiffs accused the governor of forging his Bachelor of Arts in Classic Studies certificate, which is submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in support of his nomination as a candidate in the Edo State governorship election. The governor, who contested and won the September 2020 election on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, denied the allegation. Ahmed Mohammed, the judge who presided over the case, fixed today for judgment. Premium Times will provide you a live feed of the judgment, scheduled to commence by noon. As it unfolds, the judgment was scheduled to commence by 12 p.m., but the judge, Ahmed Mohammed, has not arrived as of 12:05 p.m. The judge, Mr. Mohammed, arrives courtroom to deliver judgment at 1:10 p.m. The judge started delivering judgment at 1:20 p.m. after lawyers announced their appearances. The judge, given a recap of the testimonies, says the plaintiffs called 6 witnesses. First plaintiff, witness Edoba Omorege, had testified that Governor Obaseki submitted false or forged certificate, which he claimed to have obtained from the University of Ibadan in 1979. Mr. Omorege, a professor, said that the certificate submitted to INEC for the purposes of the September 2020 election was without a date of issuance and signature of the registrar. He said the certificate presented by the governor for the 2020 election was different from the one he submitted to INEC when he contested the earlier 2016 election for his first term in office. He said Mr. Obaseki lied under oath and submitted false or forged certificate to INEC. The second plaintiff's witness, Samuel O'Malley, an employee and legal officer of INEC, tendered Mr. Obaseki'S form EC9 submitted INEC ahead of the 2020 election. He said he was not part of INEC team that received documents for the purposes of the election. The plaintiff's fifth witness, Gabriel Iduseri, who said he graduated from the University of Ibadan and obtained Bachelor's of Arts in Classical Studies in 1976. He insisted that Mr. Obaseki gave false information in his form EC9, where he claimed to have graduated from UI in 1979. He said Mr. Obaseki tendered an equivalent of the certificate in 2016, but completely different from the one he tendered in 2020. He said with only 3 credit passes in geography, history, and religious knowledge, Mr. Obaseki would not have qualified to be admitted into UI in 1976, whether through direct or indirect entry. The plaintiff's sixth witness, Mikhailu Asekomes, said he gained admission to UI to study agricultural economics in 1974 and graduated in 1978. He said it was not possible to be admitted to UI without 5 credits. He said his own certificate he obtained from UI was signed by the university registrar and the vice chancellor. Mr. Obaseki called 3 witnesses. His first witness, Charity Aigobare, said he was the one who made the photocopy of the governor's credentials attached to Form E-C9 submitted to INEC last year. He said he did not forge or falsify the document. He said the Form EC9 did not contain false information. He said the absence of the logo and signature of the registrar were cut off from the photocopy of Mr. Obaseki'S UI certificate was ostensibly because the size of the certificate was bigger than the A4 paper on which the photocopy was made. Mr. Obaseki'S second witness was Abayomi Ajayi, the Deputy Registrar Legal of the University of Ibadan. He confirmed that Mr. Obaseki was duly admitted into UI in 1976 to study classics, later renamed classical studies in 1979. He said Mr. Obaseki was admitted as direct entry in 1976. He said Mr. Obaseki met the admission requirement despite the absence of credit in English language in the governor's result. He said the governor duly graduated in 1979 and was duly awarded Bachelor's of Arts in Classical Studies in 1979. He said the incomplete signature of the Vice Chancellor on Mr. Obaseki'S photocopy of the certificate and the absence of logo and the registrar's signature from the photocopy was because the certificate was bigger than the size of the paper used for the photocopy. Mr. Obaseki'S third witness was Egosa Osage, a professor of comparative politics from the University of Ibadan. He confirmed that he was Mr. Obaseki'S mate in secondary school. He also said he gained admission into UI along with the governor in 1976. He confirmed that the governor duly graduated in 1979. The judge has started reviewing the evidence. The judge holds that the evidence of the plaintiffs is at variance with their allegations. The judge says allegation of forgery borders on crime, which must be proved beyond reasonable doubt. In the instant case, no iota of evidence, talk less of proof beyond reasonable doubt, was brought to prove the allegation of forgery against the first defendant, Mr. Obaseki. Having thoroughly analyzed the evidence of this case, it is the conclusion of this court that plaintiff did not forge his O-level certificate, his HSC certificate, and particularly his University of Ibadan degree certificate. Accordingly, the plaintiff case is dismissed. As it is, there's been a lot of reactions on social media concerning this, and then according to Atiba Adewale _02, he has said that, well, is it not the same result why APC disqualified him? Okay, all right. Is it not because of the same result PDP took him to court when was in APC? Okay, Governor Obaseki just won now. Congratulations to Edo people. Okay, God passed them. All right, and then that has been taken. All right, and then meanwhile, Babatunde Olusegun Theophilus has said that Obaseki used the same certificate to contest an election in his first term, and there was no litigation against him because he was in APC. That means something is wrong somewhere. Okay, if you can read, you would have read that the one he submitted in 2016 is different from the one he submitted in 2020. Okay, and a lot of reactions came coming in, and according to guest is saying here that, well, are you deaf? They said the certificate he used to contest in his first term is quite different from the one he tendered in 2020. Okay, wow. And someone has said that, well, his name is Godwin, not God lose. God can never lose. So Obaseki has won this case, and a lot of people are now saying congratulations to him. All right, according to Mr. Joseph Oselumese, he has said that, well, I will say it again, when God is fighting for you, no one can bring you down. Thanks to the judges for a job well done. Mr. Governor Godwin Obaseki, forever, you are a winner. Congratulations, sir. All right, okay. We all say congratulations to the governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, on this one. All right, that is it on this one. Meanwhile, let me have your take on this, and remember to subscribe for more updates. Thanks and God bless.